Okay, everyone got the form?
Yes.
All right, so I hope everyone was honest with me. What we're going to do is, this is an extension of a form, and I'm going to go through the steps of how I did this with your information. But I'm going to show you the end product, because you know, when it comes to really good teaching, you always want to talk about success criteria with kids, but it's always really important to have exemplars for kids to show kids what's the final product going to look like, and how can you use this in your classroom. So I had faculty act as guinea pigs for me, and I did the same survey with faculty, and you're going to see how aged some of us are. This is WLU Rocks. These are the responses from the faculty. And I did a little bit of work back here, and I see Maida Thradlin's from Jamaica. And so she's actually down here. This is where her concert was. And she saw. Who did she see? Oh, I guess it's a big.
Great friend. Great. No way.
Hey, that's okay, Maida. Yeah, okay, Bob Marley, I get that. But you know, I would think that really seeing the concert I went to was more interesting. And I was in Barrie at the Molson Amphitheater, and I saw this fantastic group. I just love the hair here. But then, oh, how come my image isn't popping up? I've got the song. Okay, so, and this is good. This is a good experience for me. So, I'm going to go to a YouTube search, because YouTube and Google have lots of different agreements. And I'm just going to write in flock of seagulls. And you can be very specific. Now, if I put in Barrie, Ontario, 1982, I might get a picture. I'm not going to get a video. But if I put Iran, I know that's going to come up, because that was one of their best hits. And then I click on the video, and I select it, and I input it, and then whenever students look at Bruce, they can see how to really dance, moving those shoulders in the 80s. And you can see this is early flop. The hair isn't as long, right, in this video? I don't know if any of you know Flock of Seagulls, but
I forgot
they
there. I
were
had
awesome.
one more before
Just awesome.
mine.
But,
in Cambridge.
did you?
In
Which is
Cambridge?
great. So I used to let that play for a little bit.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be interesting. I thought Dr. Sider had a good one, but there was a good one here from...
Dr. Kasapo's good.
You're going to love Dr. Sider. So she was in Toronto, and she saw Beth.
She saw Kiss.
She saw Kiss singing Beth, and I uploaded Beth for her. But now this is a more famous group. If I put Beth, Kiss, 1980, and it's probably 70s, right? 1977.
No, she's not that old. She's lovely. No, I can probably hear you right now.
There it is, live in Largo, 77. You could even do Toronto. See what comes up. May not come up. No. But, and then you save her video for her, and it's in there, and then you can play. But the great thing about this application is this is in my maps. I'm going to show you how to do this with the data you just gave me. I'm going to do each of you. And I can do it quickly. Like I did this last night with the kids watching only half an hour Groundhog Day. I got it. Because I just sent a survey out to the faculty 3 days ago, and I was hoping for more, but I know they're busy. But once you get the data, the great thing about Google My Maps and Google Forms is that they're interconnected programs, right? And they can read each other. So you can take data from a Google form and import it. And before I show you how to do that, does everyone know the history of Google? No. I'm going to show you what founded Google in a really cool, another app. that we're gonna have fun with here. And this, again, I go to YouTube. And you're just in a general YouTube thing, and you go in and you say history of Google. Now I want you to look at this little icon up here. It's a little, right here. See that little number 1 with the red sign? Does everyone see that? Does anyone know what that is? That's ad blocker. So watch what happens to this number when you call the video up. Oh, I went too far. I can go straight to YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I am. Do you know that video?
No.
Oh, my son loves that
Oh,
video.
it's great.
It's a great video. You haven't seen it, see History of Japan. It's a very good video.
It's
So-
not YouTube,
Look at that. Look at the number of ads that block. 18. But wait, there's more. I can take this and I can pin this onto my screen using this little pin open floating YouTube icon. This is a Google extension. And
Of Google, PhD students Larry Page and Sergey Brin
here it is.
began Google as a
So
research
I could
project
continue
in
to play
January
my
1996 while
I
attending
Ran song
California
while I'm
Stanford
working.
University.
Or maybe I want to multitask and have several screens up at a time. This is how they do it. So it's this little pin here. It's called Open and Floating for YouTube. I'm going to email all this information to you. So, because I have all your information, because you just gave it to me, because I know who's here, but it's a little pin, so the only way that you can expand it, but it doesn't act the same way as other ones do. Alright, I'm going to back up and stop talking so you can hear about the history of Google here.
PhD students Larry Page and Sergey Brin began Google as a research project in January 1996 while attending California Stanford University. By developing a technology called PageRank, they were able to create a search engine that could estimate a website's importance based on its incoming links. Initially nicknamed Backrub, the Google.com domain name was registered on September 15, 1997, and the company incorporated on September 4th the next year. Its initial public offering came on August 19, 2004, though the founders and then CEO Eric Schmidt remained in control. As a result of the IPO, many of the company's employees became paper millionaires, and this led some to wonder if Google would live by its "Don't Be Evil" motto. Like many Silicon Valley startups, Google was first based out of a garage. Today, its corporate headquarters is in Mountain View, California. Known as the Googleplex, the offices perpetuate an informal and casual atmosphere. Employees are encouraged to spend 20% of their time on personal interests, and this has led to the creation of services such as Google News and AdSense. Google's most popular service is its online search engine, Google Search. Users employ this tool to look for information by typing keywords into the search bar. The incoming results come from the billions of web pages the company indexes, and the order of the results is partly based on PageRank. Google has expanded its search results and paid listings onto other websites through AdSense. AdSense and AdWords form the engine of Google's multi-billion-dollar revenue machine. Google also offers marketers a free service called Google Analytics, which produces website visitor statistics. Thanks to its innovations, the company is now one of the biggest brokers in the online advertising market. Google Search has branched out to offer other types of services in many different languages as well. These include Google Image Search, Google Video Search, Google Maps, and Google Translate. Google has also released several internet productivity tools. The most well-known of these is Gmail. Gmail was the first free webmail service to maintain emails from the same exchange collectively in a common thread. Gmail was also the first email service to offer users 1 gigabyte of free storage. Today, Gmail offers practically limitless storage for a small fee. Another web productivity tool is Google Docs. This service is comprised of software that allows users to create documents, spreadsheets, and presentations, and store them in the cloud. These can be composed and edited via a web browser and can also be accessed by more than one user. This software is considered by some as an attack on one of Microsoft's core businesses. Google has also worked on other projects. Notable ones include the open source web browser Google Chrome, the operating system Android, and the social networking service Google+. To bolster their mobile efforts, Google also acquired Motorola Mobility in 2011. In addition, Google has acquired other businesses as launching pads for new services. For example, Keyhole Inc. was developed into Google Earth for its 3D view of our planet, and Grand Central was developed into Google Voice. Two of the company's biggest successes through acquisitions have been AdWords through the Applied Semantics deal and the popular video sharing website YouTube. Google also has a charitable arm called Google.org. This not-for-profit organization's main initiatives revolve around developing renewable energy, improving access to health services, and reducing worldwide poverty. Throughout the years of its existence, Google has not been without its detractors. One recurring issue has been privacy. These concerns range from the Gmail program's automatic email scanning to create targeted advertising to the data and image collection of Google Street View. The Google search engine has been criticized for its censorship of search results, and even the company headquarters has been accused of unnecessary energy use. While the company is now facing threats from Apple and Facebook, Google is sure to remain a dominant force in the global internet industry.
Okay, so it gives you a sense of the history of Google. One of the things that for Google Apps for Education, there are a number of different apps that people use all the time, and they referenced in Google Docs, you know, whenever you create a new doc or whatever you're working on, you go to New, and if I'm going to do a new Google Doc, and I open it up, and I start typing whatever I'm typing, it's great, and you can import pictures and spreadsheets. It's a strong tool. But I've learned that Google Slides is stronger because it allows you to manipulate video and manipulate images a lot easier. So if I, for example, if I go back and I'm just going to go to New, let's do Google Slide. It's a lot easier to manipulate, but oftentimes people find it, I've got read, write, and type up here right now, which I really don't need, but that's great for kids. The challenge many people have with Google Slides is the format of Google Slides, because they might want to print it, or they might want to create a booklet, and it doesn't work, it doesn't act like a document. So it's really easy to fix. You're going to love this. I almost fell off my chair when she showed us this. So all you have to do is you go into your page setup. You go to File, Page Setup. I'll just change the page setup before you do anything else. File, Page Setup, Custom, and then make it act like a regular document. 8.5 by 11. It seems really simple, and there's no way to default to that. But if you do that every time, then you'll stop using Google Docs. You'll do everything on Google Slides, because you can create templates with this, and you can come back to it over and over again. So that's just a little trick that I wish I knew about 5 years ago. I would have used Google Slides, because you can manipulate so much more when you're moving images and video back and forth, especially if you're teaching, right? And this is great for presenting to groups, but if you're presenting in a staff meeting, or you're presenting in front of colleagues, or you're doing a presentation in class, it's great. But it's a great thing for kids to work on too. So let's go back to your little project here. And we're going to go to our first concert, and we're going to look at our data. And I believe it was here. Do our response. So you look at your responses. You've got 8 responses. There are lots of ways of doing this. When you did your questionnaires, that was on the Google Doc. And so I used your information not surreptitiously or any malicious way, but it allows me to collate you based on subject areas. And where I want to take this from a faculty perspective is group people by subject area. So if there's a great music concert going on that maybe not all the JI music teachables know about, I've created a music group, and I can fire something out to them really quickly saying, hey, are you aware that there's a concert happening over in the Senate chamber, I don't know, Thursday at 7, whatever it is. So you take your information, this is the power of, is you can take all that information you gave me, and you can import this. Oh, is this ours? This isn't yours.
Yeah.
No, because I see Britney Spears. Someone else saw a flock of seagulls? No, that was me. Oh yeah. So I've added you to Dr. Mueller. See, Dr. Mueller and she saw Prism.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
so you take the spreadsheet and you take yourselves, because it's a spreadsheet, you can really play with it. So all I'm doing is I'm pushing Shift, and I go down and I copy that, and I go Command C, and now I'm going to go back to Recent, and I'm going to go to New, and you want to go a little further here, you go to Google My Maps, and this My Maps, there's a lot more I could tell you about My Maps. There's a lot more information you can do here. Right, this is where you import layers. So I'm going to import the data. Hopefully this is going to work. No, it's not working. So go back to my drive. That was. And then it takes the information, imports it, and it'll ask you, what do you want? What information you want? Well, I don't need the timestamp. I'd like the name. I'll take the city. I'll take the band. Favorite song, sure. I don't need the GAFE address for this, right? Choose column title and markers. I like name as a title. And it imports the data. Now, think about this for kids. I was just thinking about this when Bill Murray was killing himself the second time. Why not do a great project with La Francophonie? If you're teaching French and you're teaching French culture, you could have every child designated a different country around the world in La Francophonie. And then you teach them, not only, they have to research it, right? So you've given them the country, let's say it's France, and Kim has France. So now I've given her, I create a template for her. You have to find all this information on France, like population, who's the current president, the national flag. I want a video of them singing their national anthem. All those, you establish a criteria. Then the children, they would just go crazy. I know they go crazy having fun with this, especially if you start letting them search on YouTube. You get them searching the video, you teach them how to import it, because it's really easy to do. So we've hopefully imported this data. Oh, an error occurred. Try again. I wonder if it's the Wi-Fi. It should come in. But basically, all that's going to come in here, columns for the place marks. Maybe I chose too many columns. Let's try city, and we'll try name. See if that works. I just want to get, okay, there. And then your names come up. So somebody here, who was that? Joni, where were you?
Barcelona.
You saw Depeche Mode in Barcelona?
Wow.
So
That's cool.
you called Joni's name up, and this is,
I forgot
and you
I
just
put up
click.
the Toronto one. I'm like, wait a minute, no, how could
Really?
I forget? Yeah, we were in
Yes.
Gibraltar, and my uncle took me up.
And then you just go right here to upload your video, right? Maybe you have something on the hard drive that maybe you just want to search. And you can do a Google image search, you can do a YouTube search, depending on what you want. So, you said Barcelona?
Yeah.
Was that the Tour of the Universe 2009 tour?
No, it was in 1980.
2010.
No, 1988. I think. When was?
Hang
Best
on.
year ever.
Yeah.
Just go 1980s.
Oh, no, that's
1980.
even.
No, it's just
nope,
the
that's
history of the
even-
group. Live in Barcelona, 2011. Anyway.
No, it was before.
It's
that.
going to be tough, right? It's going to be
But
tough
that's
to
a
find
good
something
song.
from
I
the
like
80s,
that.
but we can pick that song. But the point is, for kids these days, they're going to find their information. All their stuff that they're interested in,
Mhm.
it's online, right? So you can do a history project with this, and this is what I want to do. I know Michael, you and I talked a little bit about Louisbourg. I did the 360 shots when I went to Louisbourg too. And I want to apply to be a Google innovator, is create a 360 history lesson about how the British took Louisbourg in the 1750s. And what did that battle entail? What was the actual fortress like? Even though they've only reconstructed 20% of it, the idea is you can create something on your Google map and then you put this into Google Street View. And Google Street View has a little cardboard thing you can play with, and so you can take kids on a virtual tour of Louisbourg, for example. Or another one, I was thinking that you could do, this could be history or geography, human pattern means in grade 8 geography, the history of NHL or NBA teams and how many Stanley Cups they've won, or what do they win when they win in basketball?
Larry O'Brien.
Oh yeah.
Whatever it is. So you could, and I did this when I taught grade 8 with the MBA, but I was just doing simple data. It was a way of getting boys really interested, is you making comparative analysis between, well, how come, for example, the New York Yankees win so many times and other teams don't? Is there a correlation between geography and human behavior? There's all sorts of connections you can make. So you can easily create a template using a Google form with kids. You find their interest, and you get them to populate the information, and then you map and you create this on their, because it's on their EDU account for Google. When you start teaching, everyone's going to have that, and they can go back to it and keep working on it. And they're using skills that they use every day, right? It's very motivating for kids.
So we just can't access that with our My Laurier accounts.
I can get your information, but no, Joni and I were, do you want to share the story with them about that? It's
Oh.
quite the story, actually.
Yeah.